Good Monday morning. Welcome in. It's Mornings on Main Street. I'm Chris Yao, and it is a beautiful day here in downtown Nashville. It is September 26th, 2022. Justin Kulik on the controls with us today, playing the best music possible here on a Monday morning, getting you guys ready for another fantastic week here in the Middle Tennessee area as you take a look at downtown Nashville. That's Broadway, 5th Avenue, Bridgestone Arena. As always,
The best.
looking good.
And everybody's taking the Monday off. No trucks this morning over on the sides there.
You're right. It looks like everyone to this point, we don't have any deliveries happening. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Right.
You have to assume that Tennessee Titans fans celebrated yesterday after the big win over Las Vegas and the Raiders.
Yeah, man, what an emotional roller coaster that was.
Never trailed.
No, gosh, but the whole
Boy,
time
it didn't feel like we were going to win.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I felt in the Tennessee Florida game as well on Saturday.
Man,
I was watching that game and I texted Mo Patton, who I share the 2:00 Main Street Sports Today show with, and I said, they're down 17. I said, they're going to score here and then get an onside kick, Hail Mary, and we're going to like lose this thing, right, somehow.
Well, I saw that Joe had tweeted. So I was refreshing, and I assumed that everybody was kind of ahead of me. Like when you're on a streaming service, you're like, well, I'm probably a little late, or Twitter's always early. So I was refreshing that to see, because I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I need to know who won. Like if it's somebody's like watching it faster. And I saw Joe tweeted that the Vols won, grouped with MTSU's win, but he was just talking prematurely before the onside kick. I didn't know. Like I was like, oh, we won, heck yeah! And I saw the onside kick get recovered, and I was like, what's going on?
Like something. Hold on now.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It was an eventful weekend in football, no doubt.
Yes.
Across Tennessee, obviously. Tennessee beating Florida for the first time since 2016, only the second time in 18 tries.
Man.
And the Titans avoiding being the only 0-3 team in the NFL while simultaneously creating the only 0-3 team in the NFL in the Las Vegas Raiders.
I saw that tweet. I think it was NFL's account tweeted Raiders are the only 0-3 team in the NFL, and I just remember looking at it and being like, that is such a Titan stat. I'm so glad that we are not them.
And the only two teams who are 2-0 or 3-0 have former Alabama quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts.
And the Eagles.
And the Dolphins.
Man, he looks good.
So,
both of them do. Tua and Jalen.
And Tua got a little banged up yesterday. I know you were watching the Titans at the time, but he got a little banged up, a little concussion. Yeah.
Oh no.
But I mean, I don't think that's anywhere close to the most important thing that happened in that game as the butt punt.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I saw Mark Sanchez quoted it.
You missed the butt punt. You've missed it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. Mark Sanchez tweeted it back at it and said, are y'all trying to take my thunder?
Yeah. It's like, stay out of my lane, man.
Yeah.
Out of my lane. This is for me. That's pretty funny. I love that he can joke about that. But yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful day here in downtown Nashville. We've got a great show for you. We're going to take a look at speaking of football, we have an excerpt from our friend Stephanie Miller up in Clarksville, who had a chance to sit down with some folks at Austin Peay, who actually lost this past weekend, unfortunately, to Eastern Kentucky. Fantastic story about Eastern Kentucky's coach, and I know
man.
It's
not Whit, sorry.
You should definitely go check that out. Go look for it if you can find out his story. He essentially died, and they brought him back, and now he is back on the sidelines coaching. So, the Colonels, big win over Austin Peay, but we still get a chance to talk to some folks at Austin Peay, and we'll hear from Stephanie Miller a little bit later in the show. We've also got top 3 stories coming your way and so much more. So we'll get to that momentarily. But before we do any of that, Justin, it's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
A cloud in the sky. Tell us what it's going to be like the rest of the day.
Let's do it. Today's weather is brought to you by Roy Meat Service, your local Nashville owned or locally owned Nashville meat shop in Nashville. Address 605 South 19th Street in Nashville, Tennessee. The number 615-227-2583. They're the best meat service around. Not only are they local and a family business, but they give you the best product possible when it comes to anything meat related. Me and Chris are going to go try the Es Fernando's quesadillas. We recommend them to you guys as well. You can bring meat home, cook with your friends, your family, anywhere you want. You can visit them online as well, roymeatservice.com. That is Roy without the S, roymeatservice.com. Today's weather is beautiful. Looks like sunny, 0% chance of rain, 57% humidity. And as Chris puts this graphic together, and it's fantastic. The UV index is 1 out of 10. That's got to be great.
No, it's fantastic. You can actually go outside and enjoy the sunshine today.
Exactly, without getting UV'd or
Yeah, without too much worry.
Exactly. But high 78, low 53. Love the crispness. And yeah, that's your weather for today. Go out there and enjoy it, folks.
You know what they call this time of the year though in the South?
What's that?
This is false fall.
False fall. What's that?
This is where you get so excited. You start, you start getting your sweaters out, and you wear them for about a week, and then like next week it's 94.
Man, humid.
It's just, and then the humidity. Yeah, this is false fall. So if you are not from here, and you are getting excited because this is the type of weather you're excited about, or the type of weather you're looking forward to.
Right.
We all are. We're going to get this for about a week, actually all week long, Justin. It's going to be kind of similar in the weather forecast, but
don't get used to it.
Don't get used to it. I promise you, the middle of October is going to be like 86, and you're going to be like, where did this come from?
And you're going to be upset.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Exactly. See, now you can't get upset because we're letting you know. It will come as a surprise. You'll walk out and be like, it's not supposed to be this hot. And you'll look around, you'll see me and Chris, and we'll be like,
told you so. It's so because I live in the woods. I live in Murray County. We have critters like in our yard. We have a really nice yard. I mean, you can see it behind me. But we have critters. We have armadillos. We have deer. We have turkeys. We have, but we also have things like raccoons and skunks. And unfortunately, the sunroom that I'm in that I told you about, it's an add-on to the home, and so it actually has a secondary separate air conditioning unit, which is literally right behind me, and as you can see the return vent right there. But I tried to cover that up. Anyway,
I tried to cover it up. I ended up calling it out.
Yeah, it's okay, but. So I guess when they did the ductwork, they used just like kind of not metal ductwork, and so the raccoons and stuff have gotten under there. So it's actually 66 degrees in here right now, and it's going to stay. This is what I love about the fall. I mean, we have a little fireplace out here, but like I love to just turn the fireplace on and hang out here, and so it'll be cool, and hopefully this afternoon it will stay cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but
it's a very fine line between getting cold and like 53 is perfect, I think. Like the low today. I think that's fantastic. Anything lower than that?
That's a little, yeah. 55 is probably my absolute like, hey, I really don't want it to be much colder than this. So
hit them with
but the 77, that's what I'm excited about. Because 77 in the sun is pretty warm, but it's also like, I mean, it's cold enough that you're not gonna be, mad about it. So
right. No, I agree. Isn't it weird though that like 65 outside feels great and like you could totally tolerate it, but if you go 65 and if it's 65 degrees inside, then it's like way too freezing. Or I mean, it's kind of straddling that line.
Yeah, I mean, I keep my house on 68, but it's 66 in here right now, and I'm not cold. Like I feel good, right. But like it's also a big room, so
true as be.
There's that.
It is true.
Anyway, Yeah, gonna be a fantastic week, but don't get used to it. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
like
That's the point of all of that was to
humble
say
yourself.
don't get used to going outside and it feeling actually feeling nice.
Exactly. To prepare for it, just wear a bunch of layers so you are
That's right.
uncomfortable outside. That way, when the comfort comes, which it won't.
I saw a tweet the other day. It's like, this is my favorite time of year to turn the heat on in the morning at 5 o'clock to turn it back off at 7 so I can open the windows just to close them and turn the air conditioner back on in the afternoon. And then
For
open the windows again in the evening and then turn the heat on in the morning.
exactly.
It's like that is
So true.
exactly what we do. It's the
Exhausting.
worst. You like our thermostat has this like auto feature where you just put it on 68, and if it gets colder than 68, the heat turns on. If it gets hotter than 68, it turns the air conditioner
Wow.
on, which is really nice. Except
That
that
is nice.
I feel like that probably takes a lot of energy. So I don't know.
Like, oh yeah, switching them.
Yeah.
It's definitely a sin in my house.
So, anyway, let's take a look at traffic. What do you say?
Just do it.
Because traffic is brought to you by our friends at 50 Ford. And 50 Ford is a Nashville area nonprofit serving older adults, and they are a proud partner of the All of Us research program from the National Institutes of Health. Learn how you can help change the future of health by visiting the website joinallofus.org/50 Ford. Spell out 50, FIFTY, Ford. There we go. Traffic right now is actually pretty solid all the way around Nashville. Obviously, there's some slowdowns in the downtown loop and coming in from the 40 East 65. Yes, 40 East 65 South into the downtown loop. There's some slowing traffic there, and of course, going out as well, but also at 40 westbound on the east side of Nashville at the 4024 intersection there coming into the downtown loop. Pretty slow going there, but that's it. You're not going to have to stop anywhere. It doesn't look like there are any accidents. That is exciting news. I don't see any accidents currently, but if you follow TN511 on Twitter, you can always be up to date. My wife and child are in Bellevue right now, taking care of some doctor's visits this morning. So the 18-month checkup
Nice.
for the kiddo, and so she said that it was pretty quick moving this morning, which is unusual. So
Like traffic wise.
yeah, pretty quick
Nice.
moving. So couldn't believe it. It's Monday morning. Usually it's not a good sign, but it's
Right.
not raining outside, so
And the Titans won. I guess it makes everybody nicer.
I guess that depends on where you're from.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Because there was a bunch of Raiders fans there yesterday.
Oh, there always are. Yeah.
That chant they do, Raiders.
Very
Like
annoying.
oh,
Is that exactly what it sounds like?
You're like, if it's that, that's bad.
Yeah, it's not great. Not great. All right. Well, let's take a break. That was your weather brought to you by Roy Meat Service and your traffic by 50 Forward. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we've got the top 3 stories in and around Middle Tennessee. So stick around. This is Mornings on Main Street on Main Street Media TV.
The high school football season is here, and nobody handles Friday nights better than Main Street Media. Here's Zach Womble with details.
That's the name of the game here at Main Street Media and Main Street Preps. Is we've been doing this for a long time now, and I think you hit on it. We've got an army of reporters across all of Middle Tennessee. I think there's about 130 schools in the Middle Tennessee area, and we try to cover all of them. We cover about 11, 12 counties at this point. And those Friday night shows, it's we're gonna show that off. We're gonna showcase the talent that we have on the field with reporters across several mid-state games on the weekly basis. So whether you're in Williamson County, whether you're in Giles County or Murray County or Montgomery or Robertson or anywhere in between, we're gonna have you covered from 6 to 11.
Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Oh, there's a nice little double-decker tour bus. What a day it would be to be on the top of one of those buses, Justin.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, if you're going to take one of those tours today, this week, all week long, again, I told you, the weather's going to be very similar all week long. Go ahead and book one of those tours because that is exactly the kind of thing you want to do right now in Nashville. Just take a day. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, man.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he was on one of those buses.
He was. You're right. And he had a great day.
So, I mean, take the day, play hooky, enjoy it. It's man, you know what? We should go film us on one of those.
I'm so down. I'm so down.
And do that.
I have to credit Joe for this idea, but it would be hilarious if if you were a tour guide and you just started spitting off like just not true facts about each building. It's like, this is where the Pope was born, right here on your left. Yep. Don't Google it.
It's taking a trip down Broadway could be very dangerous if you want to talk about the history of some of those buildings.
Oh yeah, I know. Absolutely.
I mean, on your left, you'll see the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. Right next to that, however, was once a tire shop. And, and up until 20 years ago, you could find adult entertainment right next door. I mean, seriously, like, you just got to be careful. It's
right, for sure. We're going to skip this building. Why?
Look at what are these people on the scooter doing?
They're
what are they doing?
Yeah, this is not your road. And walking today.
Jeez. We got people just randomly walking across the street. And now they're just like, hey, do y'all realize like how this works?
Right. It's like sometimes they obey the street laws and then like they don't. You know?
What are we doing? This is very what a day. It's Monday here, folks. It is Monday in Nashville, and people are taking full advantage of it being Monday. It's a good excuse for everything. It's Monday, man. I wasn't thinking clearly. It's Monday.
Officers like, carry on.
It's a standard defense, and it actually works. Your Honor, I contend it was Monday. Oh, well, in that case, case
No.
dismissed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. And
how
not
do
only
you say so?
don't stop what you're doing. If it's Monday, and just keep doing it.
Keep it
Like,
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't let nobody tell you nothing.
Same thing with Friday too. Like, come on, man, it's Friday.
You're right.
I mean, you can only get in trouble Tuesday through Thursday. That's it.
Right, exactly. So just it's
Yeah.
like purge each week, 2
It,
times.
it really is. And it's Monday. I just wasn't thinking clearly. Or come on, man, it's Friday.
Right.
Get it together.
TGIF. They have an acronym for it. Come on.
I mean, everything.
I always wonder real quick on the purge thing.
Oh,
So when you're purge, or not like not in like the violence way. If I was to purge, it would only be to go get like the Mercedes Benz in the dealership. You know what I'm saying? And drive it home. Do I get to
Okay.
keep it after that though? After
well,
that day?
I mean, yeah, because it's not like they can report it stolen. It wasn't stolen. It was purged.
That's true. I wonder how that looks on their insurance. I guess they would try to lock them up, but
Yeah, I mean,
I revolve my whole year around this day, so I'd get through.
I mean, you would that would be the plan. Like the plan would be to do this.
Exactly. Like on my calendar circled Ben's Day, we'll call it.
Yeah, and then you're just, I mean, you're taking test drives to figure out where they keep the keys. And like,
And I'm just really open about it.
you've got this whole thing planned out like all the time. I mean,
Should I
it's
start drawing up the paperwork?
it's very no,
more
no,
days.
absolutely not. No, I'll be back though. I'll
You
be
can
back.
draw up whatever you'd like.
That's so great. Let's take a look at today's top 3 stories. A lot going on in and around Middle Tennessee. And a group of 21 state attorneys general have written a letter to the CEOs of 3 credit card companies that questions the legality of their decision to code transactions at gun stores differently than other purchases. Now, the letter comes after 3 credit card companies, American Express, Visa, and MasterCard, decided to adopt a special code for transactions at gun stores, which were previously labeled as general merchandise, a move decried by the 21 attorneys general. The letter was signed by the attorneys general of Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Wyoming, and West Virginia. Tennessee not included in that, and that's quite interesting. The attorneys general said that they'd marshal the full scope of our lawful authority to protect our citizens and consumers from unlawful attempts to undermine their constitutional rights. They also said the decision to code the gun store transactions differently came after pressure from groups and elected officials who oppose gun rights and amounted to transnational collusion by 3 credit card companies. The attorneys general also said the new code could have a chilling effect on the Second Amendment rights of buyers. The letter also says that the code will create a database of gun purchasers that could be leaked or hacked by those opposed to gun rights protected by the Second Amendment. Earlier this month, the International Organization for Standardization Registrations and Maintenance Management Group, the international organization responsible for creating merchant category codes for credit card purchases, decided to create a separate code for transactions at gun stores, and the move was hailed by pro-gun control groups and elected officials in several states, including in New York. So, be careful what cards you use.
Right. Moral of the story.
Pay cash. Cash is king.
Yes. Yes.
In Murray County, we could see a massive landfill operation at the former Monsanto Chemical Corporation site, and there may not be anything the county can do about it. Representative Scott Sapicki, Republican of Culleoka, and State Senator Joey Hensley, Republican from Hohenwald, announced Friday their call to action from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation to halt the process. Already, the site has been approved for and is expecting to complete a tire shredding facility on the property, which, according to the permit application submitted by Barge Design Solutions for Trinity, was an approved process at the site previously. Barge's application reads the site will be used on a permit by rule basis for the processing of waste tires for metal recovery, tire derived aggregate, mineral aggregation substitution, rubber mulch, animal bedding, sports field underlayment, recovered products, and volume reduction. In a letter to TDEC on September 15th, Sapicki and Hensley raised concerns about how the project would impact the environment in southern Middle Tennessee and the Duck River watershed, as well as the lack of input from the public. Our well thought out and considered actions before a decision on the land use could potentially help us avoid a Camp Lejeune or Flint, Michigan scenario, the lawmakers said in a release. The future plan, however, is to include the collection and processing of municipal solid waste, construction and demolition waste, and other wastes for energy and metal recovery, another application indicates. One of the future issues Sapicki and Hensley brought is the settled waste below the surface at the site, which was once used for the mining of phosphorus and the production of fertilizer. It was also used briefly to manufacture chemical warfare agents. The 53,000 acre property contains 4 Superfund sites, which is a designation given by the EPA to property containing hazardous substances potentially harmful to humans and the environment. Now, Sapicki and Hensley say this was done without any notice to the citizens or elected officials in the county. They're demanding a public meeting take place before any additional permits are granted. Quote, the Duck River is celebrated for its natural beauty and serves as an important water source for southern Middle Tennessee. The lack of analysis or supporting documentation for this plan, along with the absence of transparency or public input, is very concerning to us. We all have a duty to be good stewards of what makes our state great for the continued enjoyment of the public. Citizens deserve more information about how this will impact their community, our water source, our wildlife, and native plants. I'll tell you, a lot of folks are saying that if you start disturbing that ground at Monsanto, we're not sure what's going to happen. And I'm obviously living in Murray County, quite concerned about the potential for chemical waste being unearthed, basically.
Right. Well, I think the scariest thing about that is like it's a silent killer, like you don't know if it's in the air or not.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Right.
And I think when I actually wrote this story for Main Street Murray, and you can find it on mainstreetmurray.com on Wednesday and in our paper. But I think when I was researching this, what got me was I didn't realize that they actually created and manufactured chemical warfare agents on the Monsanto site.
Oh, wow.
So how about that?
Like low key, or I mean, obviously it probably was, but at the time.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Oak Ridge, right? I mean,
Mhm.
Oak Ridge was built to do that. So, yeah, I mean, Tennessee was definitely manufacturing some chemical warfare agents back in the day. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
So I mentioned that we have deer in my yard
Right.
earlier, and out here in the country it's okay, but in some places it's becoming a problem.
Like the amount of them?
Like there are a lot of deer roaming in Hendersonville.
Really?
Yeah, it's a serious problem. In fact, one Hendersonville alderman says that the city's deer population has cost the city, local homeowners, insurance companies, and motorists more than $1 million in just 18 months.
Wow, those are some savage deer.
I mean, I don't think the deer are planning to run out in front of these cars.
Gang.
It happens. It's just every time I think about a deer, getting hit on the roadway, I think of Ron White, though. Like, wow,
what's that?
Elusive creature. I hit one with a van going 55 with my lights on and the horn blowing.
Oh, he's so funny. He was talking about the geese that crossed the road. He's like, we had a 4 or 8 car backup waiting for geese to walk across the road. They fly.
Yeah, not only do they fly, they're also very mean.
Exactly.
Deer, not so much, as you can see on your screen. There is several deer in and around Hendersonville. So, the Hendersonville alderman Steve Brown has urged the city's Deer Monitoring and Control Committee to recommend a solution to the growing problem. The fact that they have a Deer Monitoring and Control Committee is impressive. I'm just saying.
A whole committee.
Yes. Now he represents a portion of the Indian Lake Peninsula and he presented statistics he's compiled from the public works and police departments to the city's general committee. And of course, you went to the double shot there when I'm swatting a fly out of my face. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I'll go get the next one too. Like whenever I see it, pop you up.
It's all good. But yeah, he presented stats and that he completed from public works and police departments to the general committee and the board of mayor and aldermen on September 13th. The city paid for the removal of 202 deer carcasses from January 2021 to July 2022. That cost taxpayers $45,231. Comparing the first 6 months of 2021, 36 deer carcasses in 2022, 78. There was a 100% increase. Now, police worked 161 automobile property damage accidents from 2021 to June 2022. According to Brown, he noted that many vehicle deer accidents aren't even reported to police. The average vehicle involved in a collision with a deer costs around $5,100 to repair, according to State Farm Insurance and American Automobile Association, or AAA, statistics obtained by Brown. Brown said that multiplied by 161, that means more than $800,000 worth of damage was caused by deer collisions in that 18-month time period. When you total all of the costs from removal, car repair, car rental, time lost, and HPD involvement, that value would total $1 million for 18 months, he said.
Oh, dear.
Now, Brown did acknowledge that residents in certain parts of the city have been dealing with the nuisance of deer eating their plants for years, but says the issue is becoming more of a safety concern as the herd continues to increase. The Board of Mayor and Aldermen voted to implement a program to control the city's urban deer herd in 2015. The plan included the establishment of the Deer Monitoring and Control Committee to monitor the deer herd and educate the public about ways to deter or repel deer, as well as the dangers of human-deer interaction. The program also included a plan to hire USDA certified sharpshooters to cull the city's deer herd after conducting a survey and specifying how many deer would be removed.
Wow.
Harvested. Yeah. So look,
deer assassin.
We know that, the continued development and continued growth here in the Nashville metropolitan area is it is creating less and less land for, wildlife.
Right.
We understand that. Unfortunately, the wildlife, and because of that, there's less hunting land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now deer hunters are now unable to control the deer population through simply hunting.
Right.
And so they're hiring sharpshooters to harvest the deer. Now, one of the positives is once the deer are harvested, they would be given to local food banks, and a second survey would be conducted after the culling.
There we go. Okay.
Now that program is still in place per the city's municipal code, but only becomes effective if BOMA votes to fund it. Well, Oliver Berry, who has chaired the Deer Management Committee since its inception in 2015, says, well, BOMA hasn't approved it. And so we've brought what we thought to be the best solution to BOMA in the past, and board members have not voted to follow through with it. Berry said the Deer Committee met in August with several citizens speaking about deer damaging their property and concerns about safety. We told them what we usually tell people, that they can apply for a depredation permit from the TWRA to get rid of the deer themselves, and we let them know that what plants that deer won't eat. We also continue to inform people about the city's no feeding ordinance. Berry said the committee will recommend the city conduct an aerial survey of the deer population in the winter when all of the leaves are off the trees. Now, 2 previous surveys in 2015 and 18 haven't warranted intervention from the USDA, Berry said, but Brown said an accurate survey in the areas of the city most impacted by deer would be a good start. Still, he'd like to see the committee, which has turned over with new members since 2015, explore some viable options. He said, I think it's important that the Deer Committee really look at bringing some strong suggestions on what to do to help the population get better and smaller.
They should make the committee up of hunters.
Well, I just don't. This is what I'm listening and I'm trying to figure this. It sounds to me like they've brought a solution and the BOMA doesn't like the solution. Well, if the BOMA doesn't like a solution, perhaps they should provide an alternate solution.
Oh yeah, that's always my thing. It's like if you're going to bring a problem, already think of possible solutions before you even bring it up.
Well, so I'll put it this way, and this is this is just my sports writing background, and all state selections or all-star teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and so should have been on the all-star team. That's fine. They very well perhaps they should have been on the all-star team. But who would you remove? You gotta take somebody off to add somebody.
Right.
So who do they deserve to be in instead of?
Right.
And so if you're going to tell me that we have a problem and I bring you a solution and you say, I don't really like that solution, well, then
you better follow up with, we should try this.
Find your own solution.
Right.
Because we told you how to do it.
Like hit him with the, I know you are, but what am I kind of thing?
Very similar. Yes. Very similar. There you have it. Those are our top stories for the day. We're really concerned down here in Murray County, man. I mean, this happened. So essentially the permits by rule that's allowing they applied to TDEC and they didn't have to tell the county leaders. They didn't have to tell city leaders. They didn't have to tell anybody. They didn't have to tell the public what they were doing. They just said, hey, TDEC, we're going to do this. They've done it there before. And so we have the right to do it.
Are you talking about the nuclear thing or the
the issue down here in Murray County? So this is getting crazy and unfortunate. So looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I've got a couple of calls in, and hopefully we will have something definitive by the end of the week on what's going to happen there.
So if in their world they would have rather do it without anybody knowing, but since media is a thing. Yes.
So credit to local media here in Middle Tennessee for shining light on that. So,
leaking it.
I want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Lookout. They were the first people on it. So
nice. Cool.
Anita, and I wish I could say her last name, but I can't. She's fantastic. And the Tennessee Lookout does a great job of investigative journalism. And obviously without them, none of us would be on top of this. So we did see some trucks coming in with the incinerators the other day. So hopefully we're going to get this sorted out here soon and see what happens. But then again, who knows?
Yeah, because it could get to a certain point before, right? Like before the public's able to do anything about it, they could get to a point where it's not doing anything or you can't do anything about it. I'm assuming that's probably what they were trying to get to before it leaked.
Sure. So those are your top 3 stories. Appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will go to Stephanie Miller in Clarksville, who got a chance to sit down with some folks from Austin State University. Let's go P, right? And we'll hear from her. So stick around here on Mornings on Main Street. This is Main Street Media TV.
Hey, this is George Plaster, and I'm excited to announce that the 2nd annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night is going to happen Monday, November the 28th at the Hermitage Strike and Spare. The 3 charities that will benefit are Last Minute Toy Store, Martha O'Brien Center, and Stars. And our intention is to get them that money so it can do the most amount of good at Christmas time. Now, here's where I need your help. I need you to sign up to play in the most fun charity event you've ever been involved in. Imagine 64 foursomes with 64 sports personalities in the area. As a single player, it's $200. If you get a foursome, it's $800. And what I want you to do is reach out to me via email, plastergeorge@gmail.com, and we'll get you signed up and get you ready and raring to go. Again, that's plastergeorge@gmail.com for a night you will never forget.
Buddy Allen, it's a tradition. Come on into our store. Buddy Allen, it's a heritage for 40 years and more. What makes a house kind of special? Close friends walking in the door. Flowers blooming in the spring. time and little children playing on a Buddy Allen floor.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. One area I can help with is if you are newly or nearly retired, or maybe have changed jobs and have an old 401k account. You may need more information to help you clearly understand your options. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email Eric at rockcastlewealth.com.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. It is an exciting time in Austin Peay. They're in the middle of their 2022 homecoming celebration. I am sitting down now with the Assistant Executive Director of Alumni and Annual Giving, Mr. Brad Averett. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time, because I know you're incredibly busy right now.
Stephanie, it's an honor to be here. Honored to have you here in our Alumni Center. So thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome. This is a beautiful center, and can't wait to maybe talk to you about that one day. But we're talking homecoming today that kicks off this past Monday.
Yes.
What's happening right now?
So much is happening right now. It's a busy week. We will sleep on Sunday and it'll be great. So Monday actually did kick off some of the celebrations. So Monday night is the bonfire for the students, and that is where they announce the homecoming court. So that has now been announced, and so that's a super, super exciting time. The homecoming bonfire actually dates back to the 50s. So that is one of the longer, so this is our 91st homecoming, APSU homecoming. And with the exception of the parade, the bonfire, I believe, according to our Student Life and Engagement Office, so I'm gonna go back to them, but that's our second longest running tradition for homecoming, is the bonfire. So not exactly sure what year, but dates back to the 50s.
That's incredible. And you've experienced this because you are an alum of Austin Peay.
I did, yeah. So I was here from 2006 to 2010, did my undergrad. Have been working here since 2011, and did my master's here from 2015 to 2017. So they have not gotten rid of me yet.
And I don't think they're going to.
I hope not. I hope not. I love it here. I love being here, and of course, love Austin Peay. It's a great place to be. It's such a great place for our community here in Clarksville.
We'll talk about, this school has a lot of love from its alum. I know tomorrow is going to be the golf tournament.
Yes.
On the 23rd.
Yes. So we get so much support, right? The outpouring of support that we get from our alumni and from our friends, right? That's the great thing about our Clarksville community, is that there's so many people who support that didn't necessarily go here. But yeah, starting tomorrow, we have our alumni golf tournament, which is going to start at 10 a.m. At Swan Lake Golf Course. It's going to be a huge turnout. We have, I think we got 30 teams that are signed up to be there. So yeah, going to be a great turnout. Really kicked off on Monday, but really a great kickoff to the weekend, right? So we got the golf tournament that's going to be happening. Events start at 10 a.m. and run through probably close to midnight on Friday night tomorrow night. So yeah, we have that. We have the military alumni scholarship dinner. We have the College of Business reception, the PELP reception. The PELP is our President's Emerging Leaders Program. So all of our alumni coming back for that. We have the All Athletic Alumni Mixer going on tomorrow night. Just so many things going on, so many alumni from different areas that are here, and it's really, really a cool time.
I just caught on to the military dinner that you're having, and again, being so close to Fort Campbell, huge military area that we are. Can you explain more about that dinner to me?
Yeah, so our military alumni chapter, which I think, and so working here with our alumni association, we have various alumni chapters. Some of those are regional, some of those are by affinity. So we have a military alumni chapter, and they are one of the most active, one of the most special, and really just one of the most awesome alumni chapters that we have. And so that group each year gets together and does an awards dinner. And ultimately, this dinner is to help raise money for their scholarship, their endowed scholarship. And I really should say scholarships at this point. I think they're on their 5th, maybe 6th scholarship endowment. So they've already funded 5 scholarships in the time that they've been doing this. So that are scholarships that go back to a military affiliated student at Austin Peay. And it's just a really, really cool thing. So we love having that tie-in with Fort Campbell, with our military. Actually, 1 in 4 students at Austin Peay has some type of military affiliation.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so that, of course, that could be active duty, retired, dependent, but 1 in 4. And so it's important that's a very important group to us. And so it's always a really, really special evening when we get to do the military alumni chapter dinner.
I'd say so. And then let's talk about the alums coming back here to show their support, those who have graduated to come back and, cheer on the football team, the school. What does that mean for everyone?
I think it's such a cool time to get to come back. People enjoy coming back, reminiscing, right? But also seeing where the university has gone and where it's going. We just launched a new strategic plan called Experience Austin Peay, and I think that's really that's what homecoming is about, right? It gives people the opportunity to come back and to have that. When you reminisce about your experience as a student, that helps you, and makes you want to become more engaged with that current student population. And so, you have alumni coming back. You have them, if you were in a fraternity or sorority, they get a chance to come back to meet the new members from those organizations. Same thing with any organization. Same thing with the football alumni or other athletic alumni that come back and want to meet the current student athletes. And so it re-cements what Austin Peay means to people when they get a chance to actually come back, physically have boots on the ground, and be here for all the activity. There's so much excitement that's going on. And I think that's really, for us, that's really what drives engagement, drives people to get inspired to become more involved as alumni, which is ultimately, what we want. We want people to be involved with alumni chapters. We want people to hopefully maybe make financial contributions to the university. So opportunities like this for them to really see what's happening at the university while also kind of getting to relive their college glory days is very important to the overall mission.
I love it. Well, let's talk about the big day, game day being Saturday, the 24th. What happens on that day? Because when you talk about boots on the ground, you guys have a jam-packed parking lot, I believe, for tailgating that starts pretty early.
Yeah, so you have Tailgate Alley, which opens 4 hours before the game. So that morning we start with actually one of my favorite events that we do during homecoming. The first thing that morning is the 50th year reunion. So every year we do, it's the Golden Grad year. So all the people who are celebrating their 50th graduate year come back. We do a breakfast for them. We do some awards. So really cool. But that starts in the morning. Yeah. It's actually a really, really cool thing. It's fun to see how much 50 years later, how much the university still means to those folks. So really cool to kind of kick off the morning with that. But then we have our parade, which will happen right after that. So you got the parade with all the student organizations and the band and everything that's going on there. This is the 76th homecoming parade, I believe. I actually have it in my notes. I can tell you for certain here because I know that Victor Feltz over in Student Life would be upset if I didn't get it right. But yeah, I believe it's the 76th parade this year. So really, really, really cool that'll be happening. Tailgating starts 4 hours before kickoff. And of course, we have the big game against Eastern Kentucky, which is going to be taking place at 3 o'clock that day. The other thing that happens that day is we have our Distinguished Alumni Awards Luncheon. So we have 3 awards categories that we do, and we'll be honoring a handful of alumni and friends that day. So start to finish, a very jam-packed day, but there's so many cool opportunities for people to get involved and to be doing fun stuff that day. But yeah, the game's at 3 o'clock. Would love to have each and every person that's watching be at that game. Tickets still available at letsgop.com. But yeah, that's our team has been playing great this year. It's been such a fun year. Coach Scotty Walden he's the most energetic coach you will ever see, right? If you watch on the sideline, he probably runs more during the game than the guys on the field do. Guy is always moving. So the team, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a very energetic team. It's an incredibly talented team. So if you're a football fan or if you just love a great atmosphere, definitely suggest being at Forterra Stadium at 3 o'clock on the 24th.
Well, knowing the crowd that's going to be here, all of the traffic and the cars, anything else that we need to keep in mind if we are coming out to any event or the game?
Yeah, so definitely, prepare to leave early, right? So the parade will wrap up by 11 o'clock, but that will shut down College Street for that morning, right? So if you're planning on coming to the parade, you want to be on campus by probably 9:30. Make sure you're parked and can get over. If you want to watch it go by on College Street. But yeah, if you're planning on getting here for the game, it will get packed, it will get busy. Parking will be tough. There's plenty of parking around campus, on campus, and some of the surrounding areas, but just make sure you plan early because there will be a couple of road closures and it will be hard to get around on campus that day. But we fully equipped to make sure that we're handling everyone that's going to be on here. So
without a doubt, I know you are. And for those watching or wanting more information of game day tomorrow, Friday, where do they go to get that?
Yeah, so if you want information about the actual game, you can go to letsgop.com. Okay. If you want information if you want to see the full homecoming schedule, everything that's going to be starting tomorrow morning, you can actually go to alumni.apsu.edu, and our full homecoming schedule will be on there. So that's alumni.apsu.edu. Everything is on there. There's a few things that are open to the public, a few things you can still RSVP for. So definitely, anyone that wants to know what's happening, that's the place to go.
Awesome. Well, you guys are going to have a great time. Thank you for sharing everything that you did. Is there anything that I haven't asked that you just want others to know about either homecoming, Austin Peay State University?
Yeah, our theme this year is Let the Gov Times Roll. I think it's such a fun theme. Very much, it's kind of, we're going with kind of a Mardi Gras theme, which I think is going to be a whole lot of fun. But no, this place, Austin Peay used to be referred to as the best kept secret, right? And we don't want that. We don't want to be a secret anymore, right? So Austin Peay is a really great place with a lot of really great things going on that serves not just our Clarksville community, but this entire region and this entire state. So I hope everyone that is not already an Austin Peay supporter will come out. This is a great time to learn more about Austin Peay. So come out, see what we're about, whether you care about the academics or care about athletics or just want to be a community supporter. This is a really, really great place to get involved in, and Austin Peay is doing some really great things for our community. So
cannot wait to continue to connect with you as we move forward. So this is going to be great. Brad, thank you so much. On the count of three, let's go Peay.
Absolutely.
All right, and 1, 2, 3.
Let's go Peay.
Awesome. We wish the football players all the best. Stick with us here on This Week in Clarksville. Coming up, we're going to hear from the current football alumni president, Mr. Trey Pruitt. We'll be right back.
The high school football season is here, and nobody handles Friday nights better than Main Street Media. Here's Zach Womble with details.
That's the name of the game here at Main Street Media and Main Street Preps. We've been doing this for a long time now, and I think you hit on it. We've got an army of reporters across all of Middle Tennessee. I think there's about 130 schools in the Middle Tennessee area, and we try to cover all of them. We cover about 11, 12 counties at this point. And those Friday night shows, we're gonna show that off. We're gonna showcase the talent that we have on the field with reporters across several mid-state games on the weekly basis. So, whether you're in Williamson County, whether you're in Giles County or Murray County or Montgomery or Robertson or anywhere in between, we're gonna have you covered from 6 to 11.
Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk.
I was looking for a major where I didn't have to do math or science. And when I took, my sophomore year, I just took a ton of different classes trying to figure out something I liked, and one of them was Journalism 101. And it was like, well, this is great. You get to ask people questions and find out about them and then write about it. What could be better? So that's how I got into it.
Hey, this is George Plaster, and I'm excited to announce that the second annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night is going to happen Monday, November the 28th at the Hermitage Strike and Spare. The three charities that will benefit are Last Minute Toy Store, Martha O'Brien Center, and Stars. And our intention is to get them that money so it can do the most amount of good at Christmas time. Now, here's where I need your help. I need you to sign up to play in the most fun charity event you've ever been involved in. Imagine 64 foursomes with 64 sports personalities in the area. As a single player, it's $200. If you get a foursome, it's $800. And what I want you to do is reach out to me via email, plastergeorge@gmail.com, and we'll get you signed up and get you ready and raring to go. Again, that's plastergeorge@gmail.com for a night you will never forget.
Buddy Allen, it's a tradition. Come on into our store. Buddy Allen, it's a heritage for 40 years and more. What makes a house kind of special? Close friends walking in the door. Flowers blooming in the springtime and little children playing on a Buddy Allen floor.
One final look downtown Nashville as you see Broadway, Fifth Avenue, Bridgestone Arena, and the Honky Tonks down in Nashville. Sorry about the homecoming information. Hope you guys went to homecoming at Austin P. If you did, I'm sure it was a fantastic event, even though they did not win the football game. I know that it's always a lot of fun up in Clarksville, and thanks to Stephanie Miller for talking with the folks at Austin P. And Justin.
Yes, sir.
We have to take one last look at our weather and traffic and then let folks know what's going on today. So let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, cool. So today's weather is brought to you by Roy Meat Service, your local Nashville meat shop. Their staff is very highly attentive. They know what you would like. They have great recommendations. You can take meat home with you from there, cook it with your friends or family or by yourself. If you're a loner, that's fine. Hey, some of us are. They're local, great people. You can find them on 605 South 19th Street in Nashville. The phone number is 615-227-2583. And me and Chris and everybody here at Main Street Media loves Roy Meat Service. You can visit them online at roymeatservice.com. That's roymeatservice.com. The weather for today is beautiful. It's sunny, 0% chance of rain. I love when they say zero just because it's so definitive. You know, it's like absolutely not. It's 57% humidity. Could be better, but it's not in the 60s or above, so that's good. UV index is 1 out of 10. Get out of here, UVs, or come in. We're not sure. The high today is 78, low 53, and that's your weather for today.
All right, and one last look at traffic. Brought to you by our friends at 54 Day Nashville area nonprofit serving other older adults. They're a proud partner with the All of Us research program from the National Institute of Health. Learn how you can help change the future of health by visiting the website at joinallofus.org/50forward, spelling out 50. Again, same thing. We've got some slow-moving traffic going into the downtown loop off of 40 and 24. Also off 40 and 65. Just slow moving in, but that's about it. In Rutherford County on Interstate 24 eastbound, there's a disabled vehicle at mile marker 75. So make sure to be aware of that. Again, mile marker 75 eastbound on 24. That's it. That is everything else. Green and moving right along.
Nice.
How you like that?
I like it as red as my face is. I like that.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Justin, nice Titans gear. I've got my orange and white.
Yes, dude.
I've gotten to wear the orange and white each and every Monday thus far in the football season. So looking forward to continuing to do that. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. Hope you had a great day. Hope you have a great start to your week. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on Mornings on Main Street Media TV.
See y'all.